Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Oh my gosh, there's shadows everywhere, guys. I'm so sorry. How are y'all doing? I know I'm not usually doing the green screen situation. However, we are. I am still in Wisconsin. I'll be here for another couple of weeks. And yeah, so we're still enjoying all of the wonderful time that I am getting with my grandson and my granddaughters. Like, I don't want you guys to think I'm ignoring the grandbabies because I am certainly not ignoring the granddaughters. I'm just going to go to let me make sure I'm live here. Yep, I'm live. Okay, we're going to open up the live video. Okay, good. Okay, I am live on X. So hello, X. Hello. How you guys doing? I am live on Instagram. Hello, Insta. And I am live on YouTube, of course. I'm so happy to see you guys. Hopefully this microphone is going to hold up and you guys can hear me okay. Um, I wanted, let me tell you guys something. I wanted to come and chit chat with y'all. Um, I know I wasn't here. Oh my gosh, of course the dogs start barking the minute I show up. Hang on one second. I'm going to close the door. Hold on. Oh my God. All right. Sorry about that, gang. Um, I think hopefully the family just made it home. So yeah, it's just a bit of a tad bit of an issue. Anyway, um, listen, I know a lot of stuff has been going on, to say the least. We've had an election. We've had some more people be named in like the Diddy situation. We've had um things happening in like various trials. But of course the biggest thing here in the States and probably around the world has been the election, right? So I really wanted to discuss how we can maintain our high vibe status, how we can maintain our creative power, how we can increase that creative power, even when times are turbulent. Because no matter who you voted for, or no matter kind of what's kind of happening all around the world. I mean, certainly, I don't know how many of you guys saw, I think it was Iraq, and somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. But I believe it was Iraq that just stated um, that they were going to make the age of consent 9 years old. Let me just check on that. Did Iraq just make the age of consent 9 years old? I think it was Iraq, and I'll know right quick. Yeah, it was. Um, when I think about that sort of thing, and then today the Delphi murders, Richard Allen was found guilty again, which I think is insane. But when I think of things like that, right? When I think of things like the age of consent being turned back in some countries back to 9 years old, when I think of everything that's going on, like you cannot be on X or you cannot be on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere really without like this kind of very visceral, very very negative commentary, right? There's like a lot of people are very fearful, a lot of people are very concerned. Some people are not as fearful and concerned, and they're just like, hey, let's just kind of, move forward. And then I see things happening all around the world where, when I think of 9-year-old girls now being forced to basically, because a 9-year-old can't knowingly consent to getting married or anything like that. Like when I think of that, like that they're going to be forced to do so, um, uh, by their parent, and that there's just like religious structure that thinks that that's proper and that that's okay. And I have a real problem with that. I have a real like reaction to that as a mother and a grandmother. That what are we doing? What are we doing? And I wanted to make this a space, an open space for these discussions, but I also wanted to give people the opportunity to realize and recognize that they do not have to live in that space. In other words, you can choose still to live a high vibrational life, and you can still choose to create the life that you wish to create. I'm actually going to go check my Insta out to make sure that I know I'm live over there, but I just want to be sure that I'm kind of able to see what's going on. I'm not sure I'll be able to. I'm not at home, so it's hard. And so Instagram, I'm so sorry if I'm not like responding to you. If you guys want to come over to YouTube, you can. I can't really see what's happening over there on Insta, so I apologize for not being able to do that. So, but you can definitely leave comments and I will definitely chat with you. So, I wanted to give this an open space and just kind of talk about me personally, how I'm working through these things and hopefully empower you. So, let's just take a moment. I'm going to tell a little story, and you guys, those of you that have been with me for a while know I like to tell stories. So I'm going to tell you a real life story and actually kind of refer you to I just did a LinkedIn article today about going from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset and how important that is. Actually, let me go to LinkedIn and I can bring that up for you guys. LinkedIn.com, and I'll drop that in the chat so that y'all can go and check that today's article out. I do write LinkedIn articles every week on Mondays, and then we do a lot of follow up work afterwards. So let's just chit chat about this just a little bit. A lot of times, what will happen, and I just posted it on YouTube. I don't know that I can post it on X or not, or Instagram. So but if you guys go to LinkedIn, my name is Lisa Marie Brewer, I think, on LinkedIn, and it'll be a post about scarcity mindset. Um, anyway, if you think about it, especially well, just globally, but I'll just talk about this from a American perspective because that's the only life that I know. Hey, Juice, how are you, love? Good to see you, honey. You've been like doing the darn thing over there on your podcast and your channel, and I love everything. You're doing amazing work, and I absolutely love it. And all the success in the world, you deserve it. So it's been wonderful watching you. Um, from this perspective, and guys, if you've been with me for a while, you've heard me talk about this before, about how just growing up as a foundational Black American and as a woman, as a single, and then becoming a single mother, raising three kids. I had to drop out of school, of college, my junior year, going into my senior year. Um, got pregnant, ran out of financial aid, the whole nine yards. Right, there's a lot there. Um, there's a series of things that we're told in this country, or there's a few different trains of thought, schools of thought, but I was born in 1968, and the interesting thing is, yes, it came on the heels of some of the most greatest advancements in civil rights for Black Americans, but it also came with this very interesting price. Um, Gracious greetings, Kiki Law. How are you? We won't be talking about too much of the law today. We're going to be talking about the law of attraction, the law of manifestation, the law of living your best life, and rising above the fray today. And so I want us to think about, remember, this is all about the I am consciousness. So bear with me for a moment. So, I left school and I went and entered into the workforce immediately. And, as a 20 something, a 20-year-old, 19, 20-year-old, and I didn't have any skills because I was going to college. Like, I had no skills to speak of. But very quickly, before I was 30, I rose through the ranks and climbed the ladder and got to, department management type of roles, marketing and management, and very technical marketing for architectural engineering firms, and did very well. And one of the things that I didn't really realize then that I was already setting the stage for was overcoming what the world told me I could be, that I could do, that I should expect for my life to be like, and not falling into certain traps. But I was still falling into those same traps. So let me put it this way. My father taught me from a young age, as he taught my brothers as well, that as a Black American, we had to work twice as hard to get half as much. And I took that in, and I would see that play out throughout my entire life. I would see that play out through the vast majority of my career, um, in corporate America, definitely. Um, and what I didn't realize was just that attitude, just that meaning, just that saying, just that belief system, while it was true to an extent, right? I'm not going to deny that there are not inequalities in the life of a woman and the life of Black Americans and all. I'm not denying any of that. However, if you continue to believe the same thing and just speak it into your life over and over again, if you continue to allow that attitude, that what we believed to be truth, our parents believed it to be true, not they believed it to be true, it was their truth. If you continue to allow that to permeate your entire existence, what begins to happen is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it perpetuates from generation to generation, from moment to moment, from job to job. It just perpetuates. If you are under the belief system that the family structure is completely obliterated and broken, and where I have zero issue with baby mamas, but the baby mama culture really needs to be, you really need to look at baby mama culture, baby mama, baby daddy culture. Because who is that really, doing, who is that best for? Is it really best for the child? Is it really best for the mother? Is it really best for the father? I don't think anybody in that scenario wins. Now, I'm not saying just stay together for the sake of the kids, because I don't think that necessarily is the best idea either. But I think we need to choose better. And both parties, I'm not saying just women, but both parties, we need to choose better. We need to think about what we're doing and what kind of world we're creating. And if you go into this, any era of your life, believing that there's not enough resources, there's not enough opportunities, there's not enough fairness, there's not enough, uh, the playing field isn't level. If you go into this believing that most men aren't going to get married, believing that most women, all they want is your money, believing that women have to be like some sort of servant in a relationship, believing that um believing that there cannot be a partnership, um but also believing that there's no room and space for there to be a leader, because somebody does have to make decisions, but that there cannot be, again, a level of equality where it's not that one party is making decisions in a relationship always, or without valid input and we can't come to a consensus and then make a decision, if you believe that you'll never achieve anything or never get to a certain level in your career or in your life because everything's stacked against you and you just have no room and no capability of doing it, then that's exactly what you're going to get. I literally created a life where the other shoe consistently dropped. I literally created a life where I put all of the ability, where I put all the power and empowerment outside of myself and did not retain any autonomy or agency at all. I had the facade of autonomy and agency, but not the truth of autonomy and agency. What does that mean? That means that I chose to submit myself to a structure and a system that was already set up to be against me, that was set up for me to not succeed, that was set up for me to continue to be subservient to, enslaved to the system. And because of that, I got those results. So because of that, I didn't get the results of rising to C-suite. Because of that, I didn't, once I tasted some measure of success, I didn't fully get to that next level. Because of that, I was always in rooms where I was one of one or one of two. Were all of those things true? Yes. I would be sitting in leadership rooms and leadership conferences at various major corporations that you would know if I started spouting them off all across this country. They're national companies, that's what I mean. And I would find myself being either the only woman of color, the only Black woman, the only woman, or one of a handful of women, or one of a handful of Black people, or all of the above, in the midst of maybe, 50, 100. There was not representation. Now, we can go through a whole lot of reasons as to why, but I'm just telling you what my reality was. And then I would reinforce that reality with speaking to my friends, both at the company and not, about how I was one of just a handful. That continued to happen moment after moment, time after time. I would get to a level of success and then the shoe would drop. I would get to a level of success and then all of a sudden something would happen and I'm no longer finding success. I'm no longer finding fulfillment. And pretty soon I'm looking for something else to do because either I'm getting pushed out and I can see the handwriting on the wall, or I just knew I needed to go because I wasn't going to get any higher. Was it always the case? Was it always the case that everyone else did things in order to keep me from achieving that next level? No. Sometimes I did things subconsciously to self-sabotage. So one of the first things we have to recognize, first of all, is we have to recognize that we're living in a structure that was not created by us, but that is our choice to elevate ourselves beyond it and operate outside of the change the operating system, right? You can choose to go from iOS to Android or Android to iOS. You can choose to go from using Safari as a browser or Google or Bing, or you could choose, right? You can choose you could choose a Windows operating system, or you could choose Linux, or you could choose. So you have to choose which operating system you're going to plug into in order to operate your life. There are a number of confines. There were a number of constrictions. There was a religious structure that was a constriction. There was a societal structure that was a constriction, right? There was constrictions I was taught in higher education. There's constrictions everywhere. I operated within that system and knowingly within that system, subconsciously, but I still assented and agreed to operate within that system. So the results that I got as a result of that, the results I got were exactly what I put into it because I was still operating within the program. Now, how does that translate into operating in this I am consciousness even through turbulent times? At no point until pretty later on in life did I really recognize that I was operating within a system and that I could choose to elevate and up level and raise my consciousness. It took a long time to realize that. It took a long time to realize I was blaming the system and giving my agency away. I have no issue with praying. I have no issue with, you know, God's going to do and God's going to bless and all of those things. I have zero issue with that. Because in truth and reality, you create your blessings, right? You create your life. You create what you give and you receive. You sow and you reap. So you actually create. The blueprint, even within Christianity and other religions, is actually there. The law of sowing and reaping is global, is universal, has been around since the dawn of time, right? And but what I was sowing was placing all of my ability out, my ability to make a change in my life and outside of myself. And I was then dependent upon an outside force to then grant me the wish or grant me the blessing if then that entity so desired to be so benevolent. If I was good enough, remember I had to work twice as good, twice as hard to get half as much. So that's naturally going to translate to, well, I have to be twice as good of a righteous holy girl in order to get even half the blessing. Or if I make a mistake and a misstep or what have you, then that's it. You're done. It's game over. And even though nothing was necessarily stated that way, but it kind of was, because it was, the whole thing was run by fear. Fear of FAFO, fear of screwing up, fear of not being good enough, fear of all of these things. Why are we operating from a place of fear? And this is what I see that's going on right now. If we truly believe that we have the ability to create our own world, because listen, even again, biblically, you're taught that you have the ability to create worlds, your own world. You're taught that you have the capability of speaking things into existence, right? And moving mountains and moving trees and moving and changing minds and changing your world and operating in immense blessing. And you can also curse yourself. You're taught this. But we don't apply it in the right way. We don't apply it as the I am being that we truly are. We don't apply it as the divine being that we truly are. Hey, how are you? How's it going, sir? So, because we don't apply it in a true I am setting, we don't reap the benefits of being an I am being. Because you don't apply your I am settings, game settings, we don't live in an I am consciousness, you do not reap the benefits of being an I am being. If you were to just do something for me for the next few days, maybe week, and anytime you begin to feel defeated, you say, I am victorious. Anytime you're beginning to feel like that you're in lack, you begin to say, I am abundant. Anytime you're feeling unloved, unwanted, unneeded, undesired, I am loved, I am lovable, I am an amazing, compassionate, right? Purposeful and purpose filled being. If you believe that, if you begin to say that over yourself, just those words, it is amazing how much your internal energetic set point will change, and your consciousness will start to elevate to an I am consciousness. You will stop walking around being subject to any whim and any wind that blows, and instead step into your true role as the co-creator and co-creatrix of your world. What a powerful moment that is. Just that will you'll begin to really and truly operate and believe, right? You'll walk around knowing that you speak to a mountain and cast it into the sea and it will move. Hmm? Now that's metaphorical and metaphysical, but there's no mountain in your life that you cannot speak to, and if you truly believe, will not dissipate and move out of your way. There is none. There is literally none. So the key to this, right? The key to this whole I am consciousness is moving into a space where you begin to understand that we're wandering through this or living out this in the simulation, and there are certain rules and regulations to it, but you have the cheat codes, because literally you can come out being an NPC or a non-playing character and just going along to get along, and you can rise up to being the main character that gets to choose which adventure you get to go on. So this is why it's so dangerous to really buy into rhetoric and propaganda on any side of the fence. It's super dangerous. Why is that? Because if you believe the rhetoric, if you believe the propaganda, if you believe you get kind of ginned up, right? And you get into this emotional state of this person, if they get elected, or this person, if I follow them, or this person, if I follow their teachings and whatnot, they then become your savior. And because if what happens is that person at some point is no longer in power or doesn't attain power, or things don't go your way, because you've placed all your bets and you've put all your money, on this one individual or belief system or whatever the case may be, and that this will save you. This will be your ticket to Easy Street. This will be how you This will be it. If you begin to believe that and you live in that, if it doesn't happen, or when it doesn't happen, or if it doesn't happen the way that you thought it was going to happen, then all of a sudden you're in this space of despair. But why? Because you've given your power away. Nothing has changed about who I am and what I can and will achieve in the last week to 2 weeks. Do you know why? Because I am. I am. Fill in the blank. My identity, my stability, my ability, and my future is not dependent upon other external forces. because I am. I walk in the I am presence. I live in the I am consciousness. Okay. I live in that consciousness and in that state of being consistently and constantly. So what happens around me doesn't shake me. What happens around me doesn't redefine me. What happens outside of me doesn't move me because I know who I am and I live it and I believe it. Now, going back to my story, so I'm coming up through this corporate structure, and every turn, it seemed like I was never going to get to the C-suite, right? I'd get right there before directorship and something would happen. I'd get right there, but we really, but you didn't, and you weren't this, and you weren't that. So, I stopped playing the game. The last position I had in corporate America was not even remotely close to, it wasn't really leadership. I got paid extremely well to work with people, have a couple of territories. It was great. But I wasn't trying to move up the ladder. I wasn't. Why? Because I decided I'm no longer playing your game. You know what beautiful thing happened? And all that during that time, like the marriage fell apart. My life was a hot mess on the outside. The beautiful thing though, of what happened is that in the midst of all that, once I kind of stopped trying to like beat the game, like in the way that I was taught I had to play it, I kind of created my own game. That's when I created my own YouTube channel. That's when I created my own, that's when I started discovering, you know, spirituality and expanding my belief and interaction with creator and the universe. That's when I started expanding my consciousness and then began to discover as I was studying Gnostic texts and others, I began to discover who I was, who I am. And I began to create this life that was fulfilling and purposeful and create this life of abundance. Mm. The I am consciousness began to kick in, and I began to live my identity as a divine being, fully capable of co-creating her world. And then truly seeking out what my true purpose was, and what that really meant. And man, is it beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's fabulous. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Truly amazing. So when I began to discover and uncover this I am consciousness, and live in it, there are a few things that I want you to know. First of all, it's not going to be super easy. You don't just wake up one day and you're I am, right? It is a process because you have to deprogram yourself from everything that you've been taught before, literally everything, and reprogram yourself to a belief system that has elevated. The second thing I want you to know is a lot of people are going to either say that you're crazy or, they're not going to be with it. And that I am consciousness can feel very alone and solitary. You will be going through multiple deserts. You will be going through multiple times of self-reflection. And you will be going through these moments in time where it's like, God dang, I don't nobody get it. But man, I'm going through it right now. You will. That's okay. It's expected. It's probably necessary. Because, uh, gods and goddesses don't necessarily, they might, hang out with other gods and goddesses, but they don't need to because they are self-sufficient. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to become supreme. I'm just saying that you're going to become empowered. You're going to find that you're no longer believing the things that you were told over and over and over again. You're going to find that maybe there's more resources out here and more people that believe the same way you do and that are willing to help you than you ever thought. You're going to realize that you are a hugely needed and necessary an integral part of the collective consciousness, that humanity needs you in such a unique way that, man, you never thought before could be possible. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 1999 super chat. Lied too long. Thank you. That's what you're going to find. That's what you're going to find. You're going to find that your ability to create and call in what you need it's amazing. When you make a conscious decision to no longer live according to the rules that have been given to you, but rewrite the game, rewrite your own rules, it's amazing how the world opens up for you. Because it does. It becomes, all of a sudden, it becomes, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you're going to notice a separation. You're going to notice yourself separating from this fear, crabs in a barrel. We can't get this. Everybody's out to get us. We're not. You're going to separate yourself from that victim mentality. Why? Because you absolutely have to. Why? Because you're no longer a victim. You're a victor. Why? Because it doesn't apply to you anymore. I'm looking around going, guys, what? No matter if I have ever if I've learned anything over the last, I would say 8 years, just recent 8 years, my success and happiness is not dependent upon any government structure. It's just not. My success and happiness is not dependent upon any religious structure. It's not dependent upon any societal structure. It's not dependent on any familial structure. My success and happiness, my living in peace, nothing missing, nothing broken, the true definition of peace biblically. My peace is fully and wholly dictated by how I view, respond to, live through, live in my life. And if I do not keep my vibration at a higher set point, if I slip and stop living from a space of neutrality, if I slip and stop believing beyond a shadow of a doubt who I am, if I slip, like major, like a long time slip, that's when things go haywire. I'm not talking about it every once in a while. Oh, Jesus. No, I'm talking about like a real slip. If I choose not to live that life, that's when I have a problem. But as long as I keep my eye on the prize, as long as I keep myself moving forward, as long as I keep myself in my I am presence, where when I don't like how something is going, I look and see why I attracted that into my world first, adjust that vibration next, and recalibrate my magnet third. If you find you're continually attracting ish, you need to look at your magnet and why are you continually attracting it. If you're going to let what other people, what you are feeding, if you're feeding yourself trash, that's what you're going to get back out as trash. If you're feeding yourself low vibrational, low, I don't want to call it low rent, not uplifting energy in the way of what you watch on television or stream on this platform or any other streaming platform, if you choose to continue to feed yourself that, that's exactly what you're going to get out. You will sow what you will reap what you're sowing. And the most fertile ground and the ground you need to watch the most and watch over the most and honor the most is your own. I will not feed garbage into my I am consciousness. I will not feed fear into it. I've had to take a huge step back from, like, I was loving X for a while, like just loving conversation. I had to take a break. I'm like, oh God, somebody tap me on my shoulder when we're ready to go back. Because this is not what we've worked so hard for the last, since what, 2012? 12 years? I think I'll talk about that soon. If you sit in this garbage energy, you are about to miss one of the most prolific, powerful times in our lifetime. And I'm going to talk about the Jupiter opposition that's coming up and all that great stuff. We'll be talking about that over the next couple of days. Because we are actually entering into the biggest gift-giving season we've ever had. We are entering into the greatest expansion season we've known in recent history. And if you choose to kind of live in this like garbage energy, that's where you're going to stay. That's harsh for me to say to you, but I can't lie to you. I am consciousness says I'm not going to worry about the pendulum swinging, because the pendulum's going to swing. That's what we do. That's what pendulums do. This doesn't matter to me because I'm on this level. This doesn't, because I'm here. I'm not down there. Let's not be down there. Let's not live down there. I am consciousness allows me to look at what's going on around me and say, I see it, but I'm not living in it. This is, again, guys, listen, we've been getting prepared for this on this channel for forever. We've been getting prepared for this on this channel for forever. We've been getting prepared to live, and we should be living already, in high vibrational energy. We should be living in neutrality. Why we still find that almost impossible, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not aware. But we should be living in that space. Why are we not? We've been talking about this for forever. What goes on all around you does not dictate who you are. Except for if you hang out with people that are low vibrational. Then that's going to be problematic. This is the best time to expand yourself. This is the best time to expand your reach. This is the best time to expand your capabilities. This is the best time to expand your borders. This is the best time for you to expand yourself. Invest in yourself. Live in your truth, because your truth, the truth of who you are, independent of everybody else, is the truth. I am not the sum of my obstacles or the sum of what everybody else tells me I am. I am a powerful, compassionate, intelligent, abundant, loving being, goddess. That truly wants the best for everyone and wants and seeks to help them attain that. I'm here to help get you empowered. I'm here to help you. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to expand the bejeebers out of everything that I'm doing, because there's so many more people to reach. I am not what everyone else wishes to define me to be. And when I stopped living for everybody else, it was amazing what happened. When I stopped living for the structure, it is amazing what happened. All of a sudden, life life started making sense. So am I moved? No. Am I concerned for my fellow man and woman? Absolutely. And I will always be. But I'm not choosing to live at that level. I can't. I can't, because I'm living a spirit-led life. Betsy, how are you? Hello, darling. Hello. Listen, guys, I wanted to come live kind of quick. The family's home, and I'm enjoying the grandson. Did I show you guys pictures the last time we were together? I did. But, just in case, here he is. Here he is. I'll take some new pictures, and then I know I took a new picture, just didn't upload it yet. So I'm putting some new pictures up the next time we're together. He's just growing by leaps and bounds. He'll be 2 weeks old tomorrow, and he's just already just. Grandma can't get enough. Let me just tell you. So, but before I go, and then again, we'll be talking about the Jupiter opposition this week. We'll do some readings this week as well. I've got things kind of set and settled. We're gonna have some opportunities for you guys to come and hang out with me. I'm actually gonna be doing next week. We're gonna be doing an event, a 3-day event. I do head back on the 23rd, so that's gonna be fun. So yeah, this is just so much great stuff happening at the end of the year. I did just drop into the YouTube chat the ability for you guys to book a 30-minute call with me if you're interested in building your business and stepping into your power and stepping into who you truly are. And maybe you already have, but you want to expand it. Coming out and talk to me. I'm doing a lot of new things, and I'm really excited for 2025 and getting on the road and such. But I want to help people. Like I have I have so many different opportunities we've created recently. So I want you guys to come on in and chit chat with me and see what I can do to help you. But above all, please, can you all do this? Please, can you speak that life and that I am presence over yourself? I did drop a link. I'm going to drop it again. This is the latest article that I wrote about shifting your mindset. So it's over on LinkedIn, and I'll drop it in the chat here on YouTube as well. Check out this LinkedIn article. I do write one every week, so if you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll find that every week. Um, yeah, I just want guys, don't let world events bring you down. Let's pray for peace and pray to end these wars. Pray for one another. Take care of yourself. But be the empowered, beautiful, amazing being that you are. And don't let anyone ever tell you any different. All right, gang. I'm going to go have a little dinner with my family, okay? It's good to see you, Christina. I'm going to go have a little dinner with the fam. And we will meet again very soon. You know, I can't sit too long still. So peace, love. Happy Monday. Hi. Hi. We'll get back together again in just a short minute. Hopefully I'll be able to get back very quickly. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off for now and we'll see each other. Thank you so much. We'll see each other very soon. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you. Namaste. Bye, gang.